What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another PGA Tour 2K23 video. Today, we have another attempt at the Impossible Challenge. It's been a few weeks, but we are back here at the Predator, and it's as hard as it ever was. Nothing in difficulty has really changed since the last time, but for a reminder, we're trying to break par here under the most difficult of circumstances. Back tees, pin 4. Very high winds out of the north, very firm fairways, very firm greens that are very fast. So the concrete and ice return. It is not easy. We shot 10 over, I believe, in our first attempt. We'll see if we fare any better this week. At least this time, we know a little bit more what to expect. Holes 8 and 10. Proved to be absolutely brutal in our first go. Managed to put this one a little bit too far left and find the trees. So now we've got to work at this from a little bit further back. Now I think this gap wedge with full backspin and the way that this wind is playing is probably going to be okay. I think if we can get this up there in a decent spot, can maybe make a bird or a par. Little fast, little pushy. Little too pushy, actually. So if this doesn't bleed all the way off the green from here, we're going to have a very difficult putt on our hands. We're getting a slow roll. Oh, we're picking up speed. Let's say we get down to a reasonable spot. All right, I don't think the hole is in play. I don't think the green is in play. That's absolutely wild that it rolls that slowly but can continue to go. So I think from here we can try to putt one. I think that's maybe a reasonable thing to do. Now the goal here is obviously to get the right read on the putts. I need a little bit more pace. And definitely need quite a bit of aim on this, I would say. It's because we're breaking the whole way. Oh, just left it short on power. Stay up there. Okay. We will take it. We'll take it. Power is going to be a hard thing to get right around these parts. Let's get this going with a big old draw. Now the goal here is to get it around the corner and down far enough. There's a tree coming in on the approach shot to the left that is quite problematic because you have to hit under it and to the right of it. So we're mostly in line, I think, with where we need to be. Now the problem is not having the height. Have to make sure that this just stays a little bit underneath. So downhill from here. Now, if you try and take sand wedge, I think we're looking maybe in the 130 to 131. But we don't have a great lie here at our feet. So let's call it 130. A little bit over 20 miles an hour wind. So I would almost be willing to say this sand wedge is going to carry like maybe an extra 12 yards. So into the low 140s, sand wedge, bounce and go. Maybe a little bit of D-loft to help keep it under. Wow, okay, so did not see that coming. We may as well just be taking a punch shot here, huh? That feels like probably a very rookie mistake, but I am a rookie to this challenge, so still learning the ins and outs. That one's definitely on my radar, though, for the next time. Now, if we leave this down in the 60s to run up, I think this definitely gets the momentum. All right, pretty solid pitch. Hangs out to the right, which is not bad so long as it stops. And that rolls a long, long way. Need this to come back a little bit, because being pin high, kind of a tough ask on this. Just slides so much. I think we can put the brakes on it, but gonna be very hard pressed here. Ugh, just left it around the top. Okay. So unfortunately, this feels like a hole where that shot should be to give us the par putt, but we're actually giving ourselves bit of a bogey look. Big swinging in. Okay. We have to. It's small things here. This hole though is really about avoiding the blow up. Now we've got close to 20 miles an hour wind, so I've got to be thinking that this plays at least 25 yards less, and it's downhill. So even though we're gonna gain 9 yards on the downhill to 215, you're already at 190. I think it's a bit short. I think we've got to place some D-loft on it and probably play this pretty well out to the left. Now that's a pretty nice strike. You're really just trying to find green back here to the left. Give ourselves a downhill putt from above the hole. And this is just play it so softly. This is just play it so softly that it just never even has a chance. Like, has a chance to obviously roll down a good ways near the hole. Or like right above the hole, but that the last leg of it is just the straight putt. Too much momentum and you're all the way down in the gully. And you can kiss your hopes and dreams goodbye. It's crazy how much that carries. As you can see right there. I mean, how short do we need to play this? I need to play it back here? Is it so far downhill? I feel like if I don't hit it, though, we're not going to make it. So I have to get it rolling on that downslope. Okay, so that's enough to settle it, and then I think from here you can probably hammer it the rest of the way. So we take a double. We take a double, but we're learning. It's all information gathering at this point in time. Now I've tried before to go through that hole to the right, and I don't get enough height, and this is just about the same. But if we go out here left, the approach angle is not great. At least with this, we have a chance. Now, I guess there's something to be said. 3-wood maybe lofted and backspun. Maybe this has enough height. I know the driver doesn't. Okay. Okay, we're learning. We're learning. And now this is maybe slightly better than what happened with the driver. We're a little bit closer. Now I'm thinking it's full off, full backspin 3-wood, and then we're going to have to do something along the lines of like overpowering it to fire it all the way through. But this is very, very good information for us. Now, if we lose somewhere in the ballpark of 25 yards, it carries up to here. Wind's going to go a little bit. So I think 8 iron's the play. We're hiding in a bush here. Can't really see anything. And we're going to get low rolled. So that is not ideal. Roll through a little bit, which is nice, but I think realistically we need to be towards the back of the green. Now we're kind of in a spot where we have to throw this up and to the right of the hole to let it trickle down just below. And that's not great. Hit that one slow. Leave ourselves quite a bit of work. And now if we don't make this putt, I don't really know what kind of situation we're going to be in. So let's see what happens here. That's big. That's big. Take the birdie. We're going to run with it. Take the birdie. We're absolutely going to run with it. Now, this shot kind of terrifies me because I think we have to hit it overpowered to get it down past that tree. 106. That be overpowered to get down past that tree. That's probably one of the best overpowered drives I've hit in ages. Because I don't think this tree right above us should come into play. If it does, then, you know, I clearly don't know what I'm doing or what I'm talking about, which is honestly probably accurate anyway. But now sand wedge downhill and downwind a little bit. I think give it enough backspin to get some bite, but we're just trying to get it down somewhere close. A little fast. I don't think we touched that tree. This is on a really good line. Now just settle. I can't do it much better than that. I cannot do it much better than that. So we'll go back-to-back birdies here. Down, but we are hopefully never out. Down, but hopefully never out. Now this hole, 737 yards. Feels like probably a par hole. Just purely based on length. I mean, I suppose there's the chance if we get enough power out of a single shot that maybe we can make the green in a reasonable amount of time. Hybrid here, 200. So yeah, we can definitely get out onto this fairway. And I think that's all we really can do. I think goal number one is just find two fairways, get yourself an approach shot into the green. And the way that this slopes, I mean, I think ideally you want to be just down below somewhere to the left. Maybe you could go straight back in like here somewhere would be the most reasonable putt. The hardest part is going to be actually sitting it down in there because you do have a lot in terms of wind. Like, I know that's going to be a few yards. You're also on, I'm going to give it just a touch. Everything is playing out to the right. Or out right to left. We're playing out right. Baby fast. Line is decent but long. So we'll see where this leaves us. I think we're in the flat enough. So it's a long putt here. It's not like a gimme. Is by no means a gimme in terms of birdie ability. But you've got a little left to right, little right to left, and then left to right the rest of the way towards the end. So I'm going to aim it somewhere in here and just try and hit it with enough pace. Get in there. All right, we are back to even par, ladies and gentlemen. And now for hole number 7. Now this was the first hole, I think, to really get me in attempt number 1. Now it's an interesting proposition because if you don't get high enough, it all rolls back. But I think if we go too long, like you want to be up top here, but if we go too long, I think hitting it out of heavy, like chipping out of heavy rough is an issue. Maybe there's a chance that you can putt it through from like the light rough there to the hole. But by no means is this anything easy. Now 6-iron, if we carry this out, I think if we hit stock 6, I really do think if we hit stock 6 here, downhill, everything's feeding left to right. That wind is fairly neutral, but we're going to carry 201. We got to get 6 yards with that uphill. But if this wind plays at all tailing, I think we're good. Okay, it played too much tailing. We got about 4 or 5 yards out of that. And we're out the back. So apparently toting a very, very fine line there. And that is unfortunate to see. Because things are going pretty well these past couple of holes. So trying to learn how to play 7. We're going to experience the light rough. And I think the light rough is doable. Now, definitely have to play this in a way. I don't think it's going to go too much. Maybe something like here. Underhit it. Because it's going to roll. Okay, so it's just... We gotta find that right line there to not send it out the back. But that was a very good learning experience for us. So 2 over. Down but not out. I think that's the name of the game here. Alright, got a little 103. Are we gonna bring it back into the fairway? Because we need as much as we can get here. Yes, we are. Alright, so number 8. This is, I forgot that this thing like resets you to try and go to the fairway over there. Number 8 here is the first of 2 absolutely brutal holes. You can't keep it up here. There might be, I think I heard there's a spot like a couple inches to the right that sometimes it holds. But you're talking about minuscule. So we want to try and get it in here and give ourselves like a straight putt up the hill and hopefully hold that. Now, the real question is, how can we find that on this approach shot here? We got 240 or 218, but seeing as it's what we'd be carrying probably about 215, that wind is definitely playing way more. So, I'm going to try and take a 3 hybrid here. We've got about a 19 mile an hour-ish wind, which is probably at this headwind going to play well over... I don't know, 19 from there, probably playing in the upper 20s. Let's call it 28 yards. That's 212. You know, we're playing 221, 219, 218, and then it's going to play a little bit more. I think we have to loft this up a good ways. I don't want to be long, but I do want to be down in that vicinity. Get it over the tree. Man, still not enough loft. Not enough loft. So this is pretty much a death chip. If we don't hold this one, we're gonzo Alonzo. So we're gonna at least try and get a run at it. But then the play is all uphill from here, and hopefully we do not destroy our round. Trying to think, like, what's the best way to pace control? Full off, full backspin. We know it takes the hop and then starts to release. It's downhill, so play a little bit more off. Something like here. Almost. Almost. All right, so not ideal. Not ideal. Now, maybe two schools of thought here. One is to try and hole it. The other is, I think there's a play where maybe you chip it up into here, which would automatically put us at the bogey attempt and then try and putt it the rest of the way. I think we're just going to go for the chip this time around, and then maybe we'll try something a little bit different if this one doesn't work for us. So got to play it probably somewhere into here. This is going to take the bounce and want to try and work its way through. Is that going to come down on the right side of the hole? It is, isn't it? Okay. So that's just a little bit too much to the right. This is definitely about learning, like, how do you play some of these shots? Play it a little bit shorter. Oh, that's on a good line. Oh, it's going to go left. And I think it comes back down to the left too, doesn't it? Shame that. Shame that. I feel like from here is honestly fairly straight. Would it be so crazy? Would it be so crazy to try and putt this? It probably would, right? Because if you tried to putt this, you would need to compensate immensely. And then it's like even more uphill from there. Let's just see like what it feels like. Why not? Let's just see where we're at. That's way too much pace. And then we're coming down right-hand side? Yeah. This 8th hole, man. This 8th hole. Alright, so since it's gone, maybe not so great. Let's see if we just put the brake on. This is testing for the future. So you chip it up right into the flat. Now we're going for quad bogey, but we have a putt with what appears to be not a ton of movement. Oh no. That's the play, just more pace. That's the play, just more pace, because now you roll all the way back, and that's what kills you. Because I think if I chip this up again, we roll all the way back down. No, this should settle in the flat. This should settle in the flat. So one last chance. I'm going to add power to it. And then we're going to go just a little bit outside to the right. Okay, so obviously absolute killer. Absolute killer, but there might just be something to be said about how we just played that. That might be the way that we're gonna have to go. Ooh, left that one out to the right. That was not great on the thumbs. This is an interesting... I don't really know how you... Trying to give these shots like as much power as I possibly can. But I am not known for my overpowering prowess. So it's a tough ask. It is a tough ask for sure. Now, if you try and play to sand wedge flop, we're just too long, right? If you play lob wedge pitch, full loft 50 yards. 44, 40. I mean, it's... Everything wants to roll back, right? Maybe not. It's got to come back, right? But it's going all the way off. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, leaving ourselves in these spots just enough non-birdie attempts is difficult. Oh no. No, 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 no. Oh, that's mean. Oh, that's mean. And then because it's like such a slow roll then. This is why I get hesitant to put any power on it. So 9 under going out. Now we did have big numbers last time and then went very low on the back 9 to be able to get it back to 10 over. So still going to go for that PB score if we can. Now, what I don't know here, like this wind, what is it down to the end here? 250? Losing that much distance is quite the ask. But if I play a big fade, oh, no, that's a tree. Tree there, bud. Log there, bud. Okay. We're laying this one up. There's got to be a better way to take that tee shot. There's got to be a better way to take that tee shot. No, 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 no. Don't be that mean. Don't be that mean. I don't need that in my life. This is already not going well enough. A few yards longer. Yeah, this is gonna be plenty short and right. I'm gonna give this some D-loft. Hit it slow too. But this is just another one you don't really attack the hole. You need the putt from around this spot up the hill. Right? I think it's gotta be from here. We'll try. We'll try and give this a little chipperoo. Oh, okay. Pretty good aim, but just no cigar. Now, is there a spot similar to 8? I suppose if you get it down in here, then maybe you could putt it up? I don't know. I'm going to give it again the same, like, same sort of vibe. It's too far left now, isn't it? And played enough on it to be short. Yeah, 8 and 10 are such killers, and it sucks because they're around the turn, right? So let's try this. Let's try a similar approach. Get this out here to sit. Now we're gonna try and putt it on up. Now I know it's for triple bogey. I feel like I need power. It's moving left to right, but you just need it to move enough right at the end. No, 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 no! I think, like, that's a play, but if you don't make it, like, run is dead. And I think that's maybe the hardest thing for me to come to grips with. Because I feel like you can play really well and then have it all just go away in an instant. Is that too much pace? Ay caramba. That's not really a bad spot to be putting from either. Oh, that's frustrating. So the first one, we hit too hard off the pin. This one, I don't give it enough so that it ends up coming back like that. Oh, that stings. That stings real bad. That stings real bad. I feel like that one's under hit as well. Yeah, the line is there. It's just like hitting the power down. Well, I think that's probably Ripperoo, but I mean, it's definitely Ripperoo on the run as a whole, but let's get some practice. I don't want to get to a point here where I don't know anything beyond hole 10. Let's try and see if we can do the rest of the way. That hung out there and it just did not come back. Okay. So don't do that. Yeah, out of bounds. Uh-huh. Let's take it a little bit further. Now, I hit it fast. See, this is like the overcompensation, but this is probably where you'd want to be, yeah? Down in here, even out of the light rough, you know, you're on shot number 2, just trying to get it down somewhere in here to run up and get a putt. Downhill lie, I would think this is going to be a flyer, and gap wedge flop, I would expect to just run. Now it's maybe a little bit too straight at it. Not enough left of the hole, but surprisingly that gets there and sits. That's got so much break. It's just so much break. Played it too much. Fortunately, it's a friendlier hole. You miss your putt and the ball stops for you. What do you know? That's too far. Definitely gonna just have to play 3-wood. I suppose there's the chance that we would maybe de-loft the driver here and try and run it up just a little bit further. Now, I just don't trust this. I feel like I'm gonna land too short. Now, I don't know if you hit that slope, if you can just, like, kick out. So I'm gonna try and see what this looks like. It doesn't feel like a promising shot to me, but we won't know until we try it. So that's 104. That's a tree. And that barely makes fairway. So I don't know that I love that shot. Obviously, it gives us a little bit of something to work with here, but that sort of requirement with the overpower, I don't know how in love with it I am, just because overpowers are not really my cup of tea. I do not do too well with them. If we take a full lob wedge here, I feel like this is short. So I'm going to actually de-loft this a little bit and give it like the fullest of spins. So that this wind doesn't just spin the ball way back. I want it to have a little bit more capability to bite. And there we go. So no backspin, pretty much die and then take the slope down. But as we see, that slope is relatively straight. I don't want to sit here and say completely flat. There's a little bit of movement up by the hole, but I think and leave it just a little bit to the right and hammer it home. Now there I think is too much power. What a surprise. What a surprise. This is not a crazy amount of tailwind. I do think we naturally get to about 330 something wind. I feel like if I give it about half backspin, I think we're going to be good. Like, I think it's going to take it a really strong way down there. That is cruising. Look at that shot. Come on, get to somewhere good. Get to somewhere good. Oh, we're on the shelf. That backstop's gonna be bringing us back, though. I say there's no way that that pitches on the fringe. It can't. Okay. Okay, look at this. A lot of movement at our feet. A lot of movement at our feet. So we're gonna have to get this started outside. Somewhere in here, like a lot at the start. It's down, but it moves back a little bit left to right. Oh, but not really. Then continues to go through. So is that just downhill behind? We'll take bird. We'll take bird. It's the small wins here, and it's kind of also giving us an idea of maybe what are we going to need to shoot through 10 holes to really put us in prime position, because it might just be that to break par or to get to par, you know, we've got to get to 5 or 6 over through 10 holes, and then we know, okay, there are birdie opportunities down through the back. Now, with elevation change this large, you would think that mayhaps a 7-iron, I'm going to say with a little bit of D-loft here, I just think this elevation and wind combo is going to play so much. I need to stretch this 7 a little bit further. It could be a 6. But yeah, I think the D-lofted 7 was it. I honestly believe that because we had the distance right, that we might be able to dunk that shot. We might just be able to dunk that shot. That is an incredible birdie. Holy cow. Absolutely wild. All right, what do we got? 15, 16, 17, 18. So 4 to go. We've got to get this. I think you play like a strong high fade. Get it up around the tree, moving to the right. And this is the opening that we're definitely trying to go for. Now, a little bit short. Wind is going to want to bounce and release it. What do we got here? Like 18 miles an hour, ball below the feet, so trying to go somewhere in here. Wind in. I'm going to give just a little D-loft. That was fast. Be maybe a little bit more left of where I'd like to be. Okay, definitely not ideal, but I don't think unplayable. Yeah, we just have a few of like friendlier holes down the final stretch of this. And I think you're really in a spot here where you have to play it maybe a little bit left of where you'd like. Using all the good shots now. Man, this freaking 8th and 10th hole, they're hurting. That's gonna hit the tree. Oh! Oh, that's close. That's so close. But now this is like, see, this is an eagleable hole, yeah? If you get it out here, now all of a sudden, land at 204, bounce it through, roll. This is where I almost think maybe I shouldn't get too cute with it. Like, just try and play the lofted fade on the 5-iron here, bring it around. Now I'm going to hit the tree, aren't I? Not get to the back part of the green where the eagles are made. All right, well, don't get too cute with it. And then, oh, I'm going to play a lofted fade. What a brilliant idea. Who let this guy in anyway? Too far, right? It's downhill? Yeah. Okay. But it's still a birdie. Like, that's the thing. Even though we messed that up, now we go on a birdie run to the end of it. Or at least that's the goal, is to go on a birdie run to the end of it. You got about 17 miles an hour of wind downhill so much. I don't need as much loft because now at the angle we're playing, the wind's not tailing so much. I played it a little slow. That might work out. Yes, it's out to the right. But I think holding up in here, even in the light rough, which we don't even get to, but you just have to keep this short enough. Pops out to the right. Leave it somewhere in here. Ooh. Full off, full backspin, and that's fully admitting that I did not think full off, full backspin was gonna roll out that much. That is definitely misplayed. That is definitely a big misplay. So now we know, though. Now we know to be on the lookout for that. Like, I'm trying to take away, seriously, as much information as we can about this. Because on one hand, I feel like the 10 under, or the 10 over on the first attempt was a little bit fluky, but on the other hand, I do think that... Oh. I do think that I shouldn't talk up to my swing. That's one thing. But I also think that... Yeah, we're really only the 8th and 10th holes off of getting this thing down. Because we're playing, I would say, pretty decent golf the rest of the way. Now there, maybe, because we hit it into the rough, didn't compensate as well as I should have. And now we've got to try and play one right into a really... main part of it. I think we go full. And then bite. Ooh, baby. Okay. See, like, if we could go 13 over and take... What? We took max on 2 holes, yeah? So... that means that the scoring capability is definitely there. Because I mean, look at that. I mean, look at that back nine. That's 4 over with a max and a double. So I've got to be proud of that. Like, even though score wise, we're not there. Yeah, that's 13 over. We missed the mark. But to take 6 birdies coming in. Yeah, we've got 9 birdies on the card, so we have to only give back 9. And I think that's a reasonable thing to do. I mean, you take a 6 over and a 7 over between 2 holes. The challenge is ours for the taking. It's just learning how to get through those ones and maybe having a little bit of luck on our side. But if you enjoyed the video and you stuck around this long, obviously I greatly appreciate it. If you have not subbed to the channel already, I would appreciate it. It goes a long, long way trying to grow over here. And with that, I bid you all adieu, and I will see you in the next one.